Welcome to Listen.
Teacher Chatter.
This is Robin.
And Jill.
And we have a special guest today.
We love having special guests. This week we have, you want to introduce yourself?
Maria Turner.
And because her name is Maria, she knows that I've been singing the song all day long. Maria, Maria.
Now, I would think, how do you solve a problem like Maria?
That's usually the one that I
What?
get.
I don't even know
Sound
what
of
that
Music?
is. Oh, I haven't watched that in a
Oh,
long time. We've had this
gosh.
conversation and
I
she's
forgot
gotten
we
really
do.
upset with me about it, actually.
I love that movie.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Oh, it's excellent. It's so good. It's kind of Christmassy. You should. It's not, but for some reason it is.
It's like Die Hard.
Yeah.
It's
it
like
really
Die
It is. It's kind of the same thing.
Is it because it's like set in wintertime?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But you know the song, what song does it?
Oh, the
Dun, dun,
raindrops
dun,
and
dun.
roses.
They've
Oh.
always played that at Christmas time.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Still don't know why.
I don't know that you've convinced me, but it's
Okay.
fine. We do a lot of action in our house with the three boys. So
Well, I think it's next year. You need to start something new.
I should start making them
Yes.
watch Sound of Music.
Yeah,
I'm sure
oh,
that
they
would go
love it.
over well.
It'll
It's
be
very
their
good.
favorite.
It'll
It's
be
her
good.
favorite.
All right. Well, jump in with our highs and lows.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Sure.
I don't know that you want me to start this week.
Oh no, I'll start then.
Okay.
Why am I worried?
Mhm.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Don't
See,
be
I'm scared. This
Don't
is
be
my-
This
scared.
is all that it
Don't
takes.
be scared.
Okay.
You already know my low.
I do.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
do.
That's why I'm saying.
All right. So my high, I'm gonna back up a little bit because I realized I did not share this high.
Back that thing
I'm
up.
gonna back the thing up a little bit because I feel like this is something I should have shared.
Uh-huh.
So our school had a float at the Christmas parade in Ozark. Okay?
Yes.
And I told you guys we were going to
Yeah.
have it. It's our first one ever. I've been wanting
Yes.
it for 23 years. I've been here. I've wanted a Christmas float.
And when
No
we
one's ever-
leave,
We had
you
it.
made it
I got
happen.
rid of Jill, and then they're like, "You can have it. You got rid of them. You can have it."
Finally! Let's celebrate!
So we had the Christmas float, which was amazing, and then we had so many people work together. But the first is we got first place.
Woo! You
First
guys
place,
are
our
big
first
time.
turn, and I just feel like that is
Hey.
super high, and I have to share it. It's amazing.
That is super high, but here's the thing. How do you keep that going? Because if you start out at that high, you are always reaching for it. And if you do amazing, but you don't win next year,
But see, when you're already there, everything else is just cush.
So next
just
year when
a-
you get second, you'll feel fine
I'm
about
okay
that?
with it.
Oh.
So
Because
what
you
are
don't-
the perks you get with being first?
Oh, nothing. you get talk trash. So like I'm
there
like,
you go.
oh, well, we'll have to cut that out. But did another school have a no, they did not. North had the first float, no matter what. So if everybody else joins in,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Siri. See, there's a Siri.
There we go, Siri. We had a whole thing
so,
about that.
So we were the first.
Wow. It was a
School.
school? Oh, this is
North
a new
Elementary.
category?
No, but we're the only school that was in the parade.
Ooh.
So we're the first school to be in the parade,
Uh-huh.
and we got first place. So I mean,
Well, you know
it's
what?
okay.
I think middle school should bring it next
And you
year.
know what? I hope you get first place.
Oh, well, that's really nice of you and unexpected.
Yes.
Well,
I
I'm
feel
happy
like I
'cause-
can't mouth now.
I know. Like, we got nothing to come back with.
Thank you.
There goes the competitive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, that's the thing. I like to talk trash, but then after I win, I'm okay with other people winning. But yeah,
Okay.
but it was so fun. It
That
was
is fun.
amazing. It really was amazing. So I felt like I had to share with that because
Nice
It's-
work. Nice job.
thank you. And you know
job.
what?
I am proud of you guys.
Okay, my low.
Mhm.
It's not really a low, but it kind of is low. But it's a low because of you.
Oh,
Okay.
What did you do?
So I
question.
got home Sunday, pulled out my computer to work,
mm-hmm.
opened up my computer, and screamed at the top of my lungs
What did you
because
put?
taped to my thing was Buddy the Elf that says, "Robin, I know her, a big face. Carrie Pergy scared me. She taped
What's it have to do with me?
because you taught her to scare me.
What?
You trained her to scare me.
You
And
know, some people have this thing inside them that needs to come out, and if I just give a little push,
this. And so I
Oh my
screamed, and
God.
Dave, my husband, comes running into me.
oh my gosh,
Comes running into me thinking something bad happened to me.
Robin!
And that's what it was. I laughed so hard afterwards,
Yeah.
but I was so scared. But it was so funny that I
don't know if you know what you know about Robin, but she gets scared. Like right now, if I was like, "What is that?
No,
Wait,
don't-
what's it? Sit at your feet." She would start, like she's getting nervous. She's getting red right now.
I do get scared
Is it-
easily.
What's that? What's that?
Seriously, I get scared very easily. I'm scared. But yes, it doesn't take much. But she thought it was going to
It's
happen
real.
to me Friday afternoon. She would
Mm,
be here.
yeah.
But I actually was in meetings, so I just took my computer home.
Yeah.
And so she said it made her day, but that was my
Aw,
low. I
that
was scared.
That was sweet.
No, it was not
Very
sweet.
sweet.
I said, you know what? When Santa calls me, you're on the naughty list.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Santa makes calls to Robin.
She does. He
Uh-huh.
does.
He does.
Believe that at that too.
He does.
See, you're fine. It's been a rough day.
All right, Maria, you have a high, low.
Okay. My high this week is probably coming here.
Yay!
It makes our hearts so happy.
First podcast.
Listen,
Yeah.
you'll probably be famous now. So
Right.
be prepared.
Listen, I'm ready to sign autographs. I know exactly.
She's got her
what I'm doing.
headshot already ready.
I do. I do.
I thought I saw him in your purse.
I did. I'm gonna leave two.
Yeah.
Gracias.
So good.
No, seriously, this is a high because how I won this opportunity
tell us
was
about that.
such a fun experience with teachers. We went to a project graduation
Uh-huh.
kind of activity called Singo, and I was bidding against one other person, and I outbid with a grand total of 21.
Yes,
dollars,
right.
Wow.
And I won this little activity.
You know what?
so-
It was for the kids.
It's for the kids.
For the kids.
For the
And
kids.
really, you know, Maria needed to be on the podcast anyway. This was just an extra way to support children
That's
in the
right.
moment.
I think the
That's
funny
right.
thing is that we really were not on the silent auction. Jill just added us all of a sudden with this sheet of paper.
Oh, it
That
wasn't
added.
even paper.
It, no,
A napkin.
It was,
It was a napkin with crayons
Uh-huh.
written all over it. It was
Uh-huh.
totally school appropriate.
Yeah, that was Carla Page
Yeah.
that did that. And then we had one of the other teachers go up to the mic and announce that it was a new
bonus.
edition. So it was good.
Yeah,
And
so
the kids, I mean,
It's
supporting
for the kids.
It's for the
Yes.
kids.
It's
always
so,
for the
It
kids.
was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited. I think it's a great story. I think it's great
Yeah.
that you're here with us. It's amazing.
Well, thank you for having
Yes,
me.
so exciting. Okay, so my high and low this week, I'm gonna say kind of go together. And my low is that my grandmother actually just passed away.
Oh.
And her funeral is coming up this week. And I know it's going to sound weird to also have a high mixed in there with it, but one of the things that it probably gets me the most emotional. My grandma lived a long, good life, kind of the matriarch of the whole family, all the things. And but the thing that gets me the most emotional about it, I think the thing that doesn't get me emotional is I know that like she is in a better place,
Yeah.
all of those things. And I think that's the deal as, you know, when you know what happens
Yeah.
in the afterlife, you feel okay with it.
Yeah.
And so I know that she's celebrating. And the thing that gets me a little emotional, which is the positive of my week, is thinking about that reunion that she
Yeah.
had. My grandma actually lost her dad when she was 8 or 9 months old. And so she didn't really know her dad. And I was just thinking about that reunion in
Yeah.
itself. And so, you know, my high is knowing that she's having the most amazing time. And though
Yeah.
it's sad for us here on earth, knowing that she's having that experience right now is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's my high and
Is
low
it
for
mom's
the week.
mom or dad's mom?
It's my dad's mom.
Oh.
And her and my grandpa had been married about 70 years, and he passed away
Oh.
a few years ago. And so just, and I got to talk to her just a couple weeks ago, and we had a really good conversation. And one of the things that I don't think that I'm good at this naturally, but it's something that I've tried to be better at as I've gotten older, is being intentional with, you know, making some phone calls and things like that. And for my grandma, one of the times I always call her is when I go and get my hair done. I call both of my grandmas, and because I don't have any kids with me. And so it's kind of been the routine. And so I just had that done. And just our conversation, I try to make sure I always tell her, like, Grandma, thank you for, you know, the sacrifices that you made for our family, because of those things, like, I have great aunts and uncles and cousins that have all been really successful and things. And it's because really she made sure that the family was centered around God, and we had that foundation,
Yeah.
and then the next generation to also pick that up. And so that's what, you know, her legacy, that's what I want to continue, is just like having that within my own family. And so
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh.
love you, Grandma. I'm sure she's like listening right now. And right now, like, she always told me how proud she was. So like in this
Yeah.
moment, like, I know she's like, I'm
Aw,
proud of you, Jill.
so
So,
nice. So
she's a great
nice.
lady. She really
It's
was. So,
awesome.
all right, flipping things around,
Yep.
Maria.
Yes.
Okay, what things do you want to tell us about yourself? Get our audience acquainted
Yes.
with
Who are you?
Okay.
with Maria. Is it okay that I say your name like
You
that?
can. You totally can.
Do you want me to?
That's very theatrical. I'm not going to stop you either.
Well, now I only have that song in my head.
Okay,
but I have a
sorry.
different song.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right. So
I am not from Missouri.
Oh.
I am not at all. I am from Pennsylvania.
mhm.
And I actually grew up there, graduated high school there, started college there, was playing soccer, loved it. And then halfway through college, I realized I am not going to be a professional soccer player.
Oh, well,
This
geez.
Hey, you made it all the way
not-
to college, though. That's
Yeah.
I'm
impressive.
not going to pay the bills. So I need to kind of get my act together and do something for real. So I decided to go into teaching, and I just loved special education once I
Oh.
started to learn about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I think this is where my niche is.
Mhm.
And I decided I moved down here. I attended my last 2 years of college at Evangel.
I graduated from Evangel.
What year? Well, wait, let's not
Okay,
talk about
okay.
it.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
We'll
Let's
talk
take that
after it's
back a
over,
little bit.
when the
Yeah,
microphone's
we
off.
don't- we don't
Oh,
talk
that
about
wait! I feel like this is like a cliffhanger for me.
2020. Did
it.
you graduate 2020?
No.
Okay, okay.
Not
Let's
at
come.
all.
I'm gonna write that down though. That I want to know.
Mine is like 20 years. Yeah. We were probably there at the same
I think you were. That's why I'm wondering.
I
Okay,
bet
we'll
we
talk
were.
about it in a
Small
minute.
world. So anyway, moved down to Evangel. And then once I graduated with my education degree, to get back into Pennsylvania, you have to take like a multitude of tests.
Mm.
And they only schedule them like sporadically throughout the year. So I was like, well, stink, I'm stuck in Missouri.
I'm stuck in
I
this.
can't believe
Happens to the
Get a
best of
job.
us.
So I ended up, I got a teaching job right out of college at Pipkin Middle School
Yeah.
downtown in
Mhm.
Springfield, right across from the jail.
Yeah.
And it was eventful. Loved it. Would never have left there. I loved the building. I loved the admin. I loved that age group. I taught 7th and 8th graders. And then I decided to start having a family with my husband, who I met while I had my first year of teaching. We've been married for almost 21 years.
Mhm.
And then I was like, this isn't working out. I was like, I don't get to be at home with my
No.
baby. So I decided to take some time off from teaching. And then about, I want to say maybe 4 years after I took some time off from Pipkin, I decided to go back to teaching and went and taught high school for a while.
Wow.
High school
Ooh.
special ed, which was a great experience. I love that. And then after about 4 years of that, I started thinking, I've taught the middle, I've taught the end. What does the beginning look
Yeah.
like? I
Yeah.
want to know. And so I was,
Like a full scope.
that's what brought me to Ozark. So I started
Yeah.
at South Elementary. I was there for 5 years. And then I started to realize, nope, I really like I was like, somebody better than me can take the front end of it. So,
yeah,
and now I'm at the middle school and I love it.
yeah.
Oh,
She is so good too.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
You
thank
really
you.
are. I mean, just like her knowledge base, and I think it helps that you've had experience in multiple buildings,
Yeah.
multiple age groups, and I didn't even know that. But also like just your passion for the kids and for working with other teachers and just seeing like where can I help? Like you are so
Aw,
helpful with so
thank
many
you.
things. So and I don't even like we only see each other like once or twice a week,
We
like
do,
in
we
meetings,
do.
and I
And I
already
sit in a corner. I'm really quiet.
Yeah.
I try not to attract any attention.
Jill does not. So I
no. Actually, I'm pretty quiet.
Well,
in
if
those
you
meetings.
attract attention, they'll give you
Oh,
a
I know.
job, and I
Listen.
don't want any more jobs.
No, no,
you don't need
no.
any more jobs with
Go
that.
behind the scene kind of person. I
Mhm.
support that.
For sure, for sure.
All right.
All
So
right.
we're just gonna ask you some questions. You're just gonna
Okay.
answer it, and we're gonna go from there.
Okay.
I'll let you start.
All right.
This feels like speed dating.
It is.
Okay,
It's kind of
Ready,
like that.
And go. No. All right. So, what is the best part of your job?
Oh, the kids. Hands down. I love that in special ed,
Yeah.
no special ed student is exactly the same, even though they might have the same
Mhm.
diagnoses or the same classification. None of them are the same. And they're like little puzzles. And every night I go home and my poor husband and my kids have to hear about it. Like, hey, if you had this situation, hypothetically, Dee, what would you do to figure this out?
Uh-huh.
And they're all like, come on, mom, turn it off.
I
But
know. We
I
can't turn it
I
off,
love
can
it.
we?
I love picking their brains apart. So.
I love how you describe that too, as like it being a puzzle you're trying to figure out. Because
Yes.
that's a perfect way to describe that. I think it's hard for us to like tell people what we do or the extras of our job too, and trying to figure out. And that's it. It's a puzzle. Each
It
one of
is.
those kids, and yours is like a 1,000-piece puzzle versus maybe
Yeah,
the 500-piece puzzle.
Or it's like Tetris. You remember that
Yes,
one game?
yes,
Like,
yes.
where's it gonna fit? I
Exactly.
really love Tetris.
Well, and you know what? Because I taught special ed because I double majored. Did you double major at Angel?
I did.
That's what we got a Angel.
Are you guys the same person? Oh my god.
Anyway,
so many things to figure out after
so
this.
exciting. So anyway, but because I taught special ed for 3 years, because when I moved to Ozark, I taught special ed here, and I think what I wish everyone could teach special ed for a couple years, because I think as a special ed teacher, you learn to celebrate the tiny little things. You know,
Oh,
I think
yes.
so many times when we're in the regular ed, because I've taught regular ed
Yeah.
before, we have these big goals and we want them to reach be proficient. We had to put them at proficient. But when you've taught special ed, you celebrate when they read that one word or
Right.
the one little thing, that you appreciate those small moments sometimes better when you teach. You know, I really think that
Yes.
makes a big difference. And I look back when I think about myself and I'm like, I think I really appreciate that time I was in special ed, because I was able to celebrate the small moments.
Absolutely. And like for today, if, for example, we were taking ELA evaluating,
Mhm.
and just to see them move, maybe they're in
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
20 to
Yeah.
30 percentage,
Yeah.
which we know isn't really the highest where we all want them to be. But if they
Yeah.
moved up like just 2
It felt so
percentage
good.
points, I was
Yeah.
like,
I
oh
know.
my goodness, you met
Yeah.
your goal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, huge celebrations.
If you could have one, I was worried about time, so I was trying to figure out
Goober.
It was a little bit taller. I wish it was a Paula. No, just kidding. Okay. All right. I was thinking about time, 16 minutes, and I have some questions I really want to ask, so I wanted to make sure I got them
We'll
in.
probably stop it around 20 or something just to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. If you could have one wish granted about your school life, because our last episode.
Robin, is it Monday or Friday or
I
they're
thought
the
I
same?
was gonna be the one
No.
to miss.
This is why. I mean, and then she has me as her co-host, so I can make fun of her in the moment and we get out of it. It's good.
Wesley
You got
Wabbit. Let's try it
You
again.
got this.
So it's like
If
great
you
when we're on stage and it happens, you know?
No. Well, I can start on that. If you could have one wish granted about your school life, what would that wish be? Because last week we could just have magical wish from Santa. What would we want? What's your one wish for your school life that you wish you could have?
Oh, technology. I wish it would work.
It
never works for
I
me.
know.
And then they look at me and they say, help. And I'm like, I
I
can't.
know. It's so frustrating.
Oh,
I
that is a
know.
good
So
one.
I would like a little technology fairy in my
That just
classroom.
boom,
that
it works.
Oh,
magically.
Yeah, that's actually
a
a really good one.
technology fairy.
Yep.
So we
Or
all
like a little Buddha belly. I just rub it. It fixes it all.
so good.
Yeah,
Oh my
I don't think our
gosh.
technology people want you to rub their belly.
Oh,
I know.
You know what? Maybe they do. I don't know if you guys.
I'm not rubbing anybody's belly.
Wait, did you watch the videos at the beginning of the year? Clearly, it says no.
Oh gosh, no.
It says
That's
no.
FERPA, HIPAA, all of that. No, I'm not doing
All
that.
the other. That's the reason we have to watch the videos.
I just want a fake statue or
Yes,
a hologram.
yes.
That's all.
That's all.
I just want.
Yeah.
I want technology to be better.
I think
for
that's a
students.
good one. That's a
Mhm.
really good one.
Well, and because it's like the worst times that it doesn't work.
Exactly.
And the
and
one
it's-
day we didn't have power for a while, like all the
Yes.
internet was
Oh,
out in
it's
like
awful.
in all of Missouri or something,
Mhm.
and that was fun.
Yeah.
The kids were like, "Oh, I don't think we can do school today." I'm like, "Oh, we're just gonna do it different."
When
So-
I was in school,
Yeah.
we never had computers.
That's
We're
right.
going back old school.
Mhm. But then so okay. What is your most embarrassing or the funniest teacher moment that you've had? Ooh, she starts giggling
Oh,
already.
I love it.
Okay.
I feel good about this one.
So when I taught at Pipkin Middle School, I
Mhm.
was willing to just about do anything to get those kids' attention. And you know, first year right out of the gate teacher, you'll do anything.
Yeah.
Including dress up in any costume they
Oh.
ask you to dress in.
I support that right now.
So they had me going and doing a practicum kind of like observation in what we would call back in the day like a life skills functional
Yes.
classroom. And they were talking about their teeth. It was like the month of February.
Uh-huh.
And they asked me to wear a tooth fairy costume.
Mhm.
And so I did.
Oh, I bet you were
And-
adorable.
Oh, no. No, no.
Oh.
It was cute and white and it was pretty and it was pristine and it fit
Aw.
all until a little Down syndrome boy
Oh.
decided to come up and hug me and he threw up
Oh.
all over me. I mean,
Oh.
there went the white
Oh.
tooth fairy and I literally, it was disgusting.
Oh.
And I was stuck in it for a while.
That's the
Oh,
worst.
no, that's really
It was.
bad.
That's the
Yeah,
worst.
it was gross. It was gross.
Oh.
I just
So-
saw like a video of something and it was fake that happened, and I'm pretty good with most things, blood,
Yeah.
and even like throw up on the floor,
Mm.
but on
No.
Oh yeah.
and not even my own
No.
child.
Oh,
I
all
don't
right
know.
in front of me.
I can.
I still have that kid's name.
Stop.
Still
It's
in
awful.
there.
Listen, I can
Was it-
handle anything.
was it
but stomach flu.
colorful?
Stop! I seriously cannot handle it. It's my one thing I cannot handle. We're not. I'll start like
It
that.
was a
I will
little-
just talk.
little chunky.
Stop! This is the worst. Stop. Anyway, oh. I don't want to smell it. Just think about it.
Mama, get big in the camera so we can see your reaction.
No.
What, it was chunky?
No, stop. So gross.
Don't puke now. Don't do it.
You know what's going around here in school. So,
Don't
you
do
know,
it. Don't do it.
Oh, wow.
we had second grade program and they were up there practicing and one just threw up through all the people next to him in the thing.
Oh,
it was
see,
bad. and
that
I'll
is-
go,
I know how that
it's
feels.
bad. Bad.
Gross.
Oh my gosh.
Bad. And you know, yeah, and then on
You had to
Friday,
stay in it? You didn't have a change
Well,
of
I
clothes?
know. Like I had clothes under it.
But they were also.
It was everywhere.
oh, I couldn't. I'd be done.
I felt like being
No,
done
I'd
that
be
day.
done. I couldn't do it.
Nasty.
I literally cannot do it. All right, let's go to the
That's
next
really
question.
good.
This is making
Thank
me
you for
I've
that
never,
story.
I have
Thank
never
you.
worn a tooth fairy costume.
sick.
Since. Never.
I'll find you one.
I will never be the tooth
You
fairy.
know
again.
what?
Nope.
I feel like this might be your year. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that she will
No.
hook you up. I think this might be. You should have never told her this story.
Hey, we do have podcast people that like
Oh.
our listeners. Sometimes they send us stuff. So
The
if
speed
anybody
thing-
has a tooth fairy
No.
costume,
Yes,
for
I
Maria,
support
we'll do
this
that.
turn in.
Yeah.
Turn this in.
No,
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah. Stop buying scary stuff and buy fairy outfits. I support it. I support this one.
Oh,
All right. What do people often misunderstand
Oh, hold
about
on.
your
I'm
job?
gonna stop.
Just
this.
kidding.
Is-
All right. Next question. What do people often misunderstand about your job?
I think they often misunderstand like why are the kids in there? What's the process to get into my classroom? What it is that we do every day. And I think they misunderstand like the amount of time it takes for a kid to
Yeah.
get to the next level. And
Mhm.
we're just so used to it being on a normal agenda that sometimes we forget that these guys take
Yeah.
a lot longer. And on
Yeah.
days when they are just not ready to learn, we just have to wait.
Yep.
It's a waiting game. So
I
yeah.
think that's a good one.
Well, and you've been in that world too.
I have.
I mean,
yeah.
and I think that can be really with even in your regular ed classroom too. Like sometimes it just takes some of our kids longer to get some of those
Mhm.
things figured out. And that's where, I think that we're fortunate to have some things in place with like being able to like intervene with our kids and have some small groups and stuff. And so I appreciate that. And I'm sure in your world, it's even more beneficial. I'm mumbling through my words right now. My brain just went. Boop, 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 boop.
it's okay.
Listen,
That's that part that I get to edit out.
yeah.
I'm in charge this week. Very
You're
good.
gonna be mad that I didn't record. I edited last week. You'll be like, "You could have done that right."
Robin likes to give me the ones when we have guests because
Oh,
sometimes
tricky.
it goes a little bit more.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason is I wouldn't cut things out. It'd be like, I'm like, yeah, that sounds okay.
It'll be like 50 minutes long.
That's right.
But what I'm trying to say,
Back at you.
okay, what I'm trying to say is that I think in education in general, like sometimes people have these expectations. Like for us, we do grading scales of like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like if
Mhm.
their kid is not at a 4
Yeah.
or at a 3,
Right.
whoa, what's going on? I'm like, sometimes it just takes kids a little bit longer. And I think the older they get, there's a difference in some of that stuff too. Like there's some of the kids catch on super quick with what we've
Yeah.
got going on. And it may depend on what building they came from
Yeah.
or what
Yes.
school district they had been in previously and all of those things. And so I always tell parents, I'm like, you also have to give your kids some grace in
Yeah.
this. And if I'm going to push your kid hard, like to get the most out of them that I can, but you also have to just like realize, take a step back, and it's okay if they're not like an advanced kid in
All the time.
everything or
Right.
whatever, because that's just not realistic.
No,
And
I mean, we shouldn't
real
have
world.
tons of advanced kids.
no,
And I think developmentally, kids are at different stages all the time. And I think sometimes
Mhm.
people forget that. It doesn't mean that they're not going to get there. It just
Yeah.
means
Right.
things take. And, I always said, I love that our school district kind of thinking outside the box. But before, we kind of did the same thing with every kid. I always say we do it a little louder, a little more often. And we're like, you can't get it that way. We have to think
Right.
outside the box. And
Yeah.
so I think that is such a great thing about special ed is that you're able to do little things out of the box and find
Mhm.
ways to click with them. So,
Puzzle.
puzzles.
Puzzles.
Put the puzzle together.
That's
like
right.
a Rubik's
Building
cube.
puzzles.
Yes.
Those things will get me every time.
Well, yeah, not Rubik's Cube.
Mm-mm. All right. What about? I forgot about that question. I really like it. What makes you a memorable teacher?
Oh. Oh, I don't know. Are we talking like a good memory or a bad memory?
You know what? We can do both.
Yeah.
We can do both. What makes
Like
you memorable?
what people
Yeah, like
perceive me
When kids look
as?
back and think,
Oh,
oh,
This term is
I remember.
awesome.
oh,
What's
those
that
high
thing?
school kids may not be thinking me in a positive.
Makes her memorable. That lady wouldn't let me get away with nothing.
No, she made me work till I graduated.
So you
Ooh.
push the
yes.
kids.
You didn't give up
You
on
didn't
them.
give up on
No,
them.
no, I am not a quitter. No,
No.
we don't quit. Memorable teacher. Oof. I hope that they remember how much I love and care.
Mhm.
And I am trying, the older I get and the longer I've done this, the less I like get upset about things. I have to
Yeah.
remind them every day. I'm not your mom. I don't get the privilege to get mad
Yeah.
at you. I'm not mad at you. But here are my expectations. I'm
Yeah.
never going to lower my standards, no matter if you are learning it backwards instead of forwards. We
Mhm.
are still just going to have the same set of standards and expectations. And I hope they remember that.
Yeah.
that I will be there for them no
Yeah.
matter what till you cross that finish
I
line.
think that's what I would hope. I think that's a perfect thing to want to be.
Now, whether they remember me that way, I don't know.
No, but you're gonna. I believe. I believe
We
that.
always talk about this though. Being like at the younger grades, I often go like, "What are they actually going to remember?" And in the same, I go, "It doesn't really matter." Like, there's those little seeds you plant along the way,
I hope
and though
so.
they may not remember your name or the face that went along with those things, I'm like,
Right.
they're still in there.
Yeah.
And so whenever you see those kids cross the finish line and they graduate or they accomplish something, you're like, you're still a little piece of that.
I hope so.
You know?
Or they might just remember me as I had a lot of really good candy. We
we
have lots of really good candy in my room. I only buy the best.
So that's
Oh,
wow.
man.
No cheap candy in this room.
Man, you know where to go.
No
Well, I might be
kidding.
walking over
love
there
candy.
too.
Yeah, that's right. It's just right over there. You can see it from here. Very good.
All right. So, you know what? Jill actually thought of this question, but I love that she thought of this question because this
This
is
for
right up
Robin.
my. It is right up my
Okay.
alley. If you created a teacher playlist, what would be on there and why?
Okay. So if I had a playlist and it started with me walking into the building,
I like
first
it
thing in the
already.
morning,
I'm already so excited.
it would probably be Thunderstruck by AC/DC,
Mm-hmm.
which might not be school
Hey,
appropriate.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's your playlist.
But in my
Yeah.
mind, that's how I walk
Have your
into that
earbud
building.
in.
Yep,
Just have your
that's how I
earbud in.
walk
No
in.
one will know.
And then probably it would be a lot of similar songs until about halfway through the day. Then it would be like the Rocky theme song, like "Come on, Maria, keep going, keep going." And then by the end of the day, it might be like Simon and Garfunkel's "Sound of Silence." I think that would be my playlist.
You know what?
For
That's
the
a
day.
solid playlist.
It is.
Thank you.
You know, you should to go back and listen to Robin and I's playlist. We sang the songs
Because you can't play them on there. It's illegal. So we didn't want to go to prison, okay?
So you
So we just
sang
sang
them?
it.
just parts of them.
Okay.
Not all of them. We probably can't do that either.
Mm-mm.
It was amazing.
memorable. It was memorable. Oh god, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So I think
I
that's
think
how
it's
my
good.
playlist.
I love
hope-
it.
You know what? I'm gonna start checking to see if you have like an earbud in or something.
Yeah.
Like with your hair
You
over.
can't see past all
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
You
I'm like,
don't
what's
even
in there
know.
today?
You know what? You actually just need to have that song ready when she walks in the building for
Oh.
her.
Okay.
Be ready.
So
I
good.
love it. I
So
love
good.
it.
All right. Well, I guess
Yeah.
we're on. You're getting
Yeah.
your challenge
I
going.
am.
It's been fun. That's it.
Yeah.
See what that
That
says?
was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
that wasn't bad at all.
See?
No,
you
we
know,
told you.
We yeah, it's super easy. So Robin's getting together the challenge, and I have some reminders. We are on Instagram. Make sure you're following us there. Listen, Teacher Chatter, along with Facebook and TikTok, which is
Yes.
Robin's favorite.
No.
Whenever I do videos
No.
with you,
No,
You
I like
like
to
it?
watch your videos.
You like that video.
No, I
You're like, it actually says Robin Hammonds looks at videos more than anybody else on our TikTok.
I only watch the steak video just because I have to show people because it's so funny. It's so bad, but so funny.
Oh, so we like to keep those fresh and original with stuff.
When I watch it, does it refresh it?
No.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
messing with
Okay, I
you.
was like, I'm gonna stop watching this.
No. So there's some good ones out there though,
Yeah.
and continued.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more.
There's
I have
more.
more ideas, more things coming, so it'll be a good time. And Robin's got the challenge ready.
Okay. Well, you know what? I have to admit, this week while I was trying to think of a challenge, I was just kind of struggling, and so I went to a women's Christmas thing, I guess what you call it, and so something she said stuck in my mind for myself. So I'm going to talk about the scripture really quick, and then I'm going to talk about it. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. And the lady that spoke, she said something, she talked about a lot of things, but what she said is that we are not orphans to God. And so when you go into your mom and dad's house, you don't say, hey, can I have a glass of water from the thing?
Mhm.
Do you care if I have a snack? Can I use your bathroom? No, you go in there, you grab your water, you go to the bathroom. And she was saying, when we go to God in prayer, that's the way we should pray, that we should go and we should pray to God with our whole heart what we want. Lay it out there on there. Doesn't mean he's going to answer all our prayers. But really, this last few weeks, I've really changed the way I pray, the specific of asking God what I want. And I say, if it's your will,
Yeah.
and I want what you want for me, but these are what my heart hungers for, or what I would love for you to do for me. And it's just kind of changed my prayer life this week and the last week, about as I pray for things for my children and my life and my friends. And so this week, I just want you to think, if you have never made an effort to take some time and pray to God for things that's going on in your life, the hard things, the things that seem difficult, remember that you are not an orphan, that you can go to him and you can request what you want for him. And so to just be really this week, just think of one or two things that you want and just be prayer without ceasing. Pray every day about it and see what God does in your life. And I'm not saying he is going to answer all our prayers. God has different things for that I might want. He knows what's best for us. But it's just that comfort of being able to go and know that you can take your burdens to him and he'll pray for them.
And I think part of it for me anyway has always been like, you feel like you don't want to ask, like God has bigger things on his plate than this. But in the same sense, like with having that relationship, you need to have the relationship.
Yeah.
And what would you want to talk to your friends about?
Yeah.
If you could say, if you had a magic wand
Yeah.
and your friend, could help you with this, bringing it to God is all that he really wants.
Yeah.
And if it works, it'll work out the way that he wants it to
Yeah.
work out anyways, but bringing it forth so that he really knows your heart with things, I think makes
And
a
we
big
think about our
difference.
own kids, like when my kids need things, I want them to come to me. I don't want them to, and that's the same way God
Yeah.
feels about it. He wants us to come with even the little things, like I can't find my car keys, and I've prayed that many a time.
I have
Please,
too.
God, please. I know this is petty. I know this, but I really need to find this. And so I think that that's just a great reminder, is just go to him in prayer and do it without ceasing and know that he is listening and he's there for you.
Absolutely. I love that. Good one, Robin. All right.
All right.
Maria, thank
We're
you so much.
Yeah, and we love for you to come back sometime.
She wants to come back when we get like an actual
Yes.
studio.
You know, we need to do a reboot on the people.
Yeah.
Come back after
Are we
have
gonna
a-
wear like the headphones like they
Yeah.
do?
That's what
I don't
we
know.
should have one day. Got any good sponsors that you know about? Gonna have to start getting a lot more napkins out with people to sign up.
And listen, if you're doing a fundraiser, we are a great person to have on your fundraiser.
Oh my gosh.
Look, we got a great person come today. That's
Yes,
so
we did.
fun. I
We
love the reason you're here. I love that it worked out. I love that I met you. I think we might be best friends as soon as this is
I think we like knew each
I know.
I'm
other.
so
20 years ago.
excited.
I'm pretty sure you did as well. Well, and as always, Jimmy Fallon, don't forget you're invited on the podcast. So don't forget that part. It's
Yeah,
important.
you're always invited.
Always invited, or we are inviting ourselves to New York.
Yeah,
too.
that'd be better. But
Either
do
way,
what you
I don't
want.
know if you know we do that, but one day we anticipate Jimmy Fallon being on, and then you can be a guest.
I'll be a chaperone.
We probably need one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, this is Listen.
Teacher chatter
This is Robin.
and Jill.
And have a great week.